Anyway, last recording for today. Then we do the links. I would like to remind you that my opinion is that this is a story written by a man who has no passion for actual writing. He does not care about writing. What he likes is that the teacher says, man, you beat the word count for the essay requirement. Let's move on. Anyway, Nas was having performance anxiety. Even though he had none of it before, the day of, he's suddenly very upset. I mean, to be fair, it would be kind of neat if you compiled all these problems into one. That's the whole point, is that it's not one thing, it's a bunch of things. I mean, have you seen my writing, Mr. Kitten Boy Wife? Goddamn, I love that we live in a world where an academic paper can have a citation of an internet person, and it's like, Mr. Super X Pussy Slayer X says. It's a beautiful world. Professionally, academically, peer-reviewed paper says that X Pussy Slayer X has something to say. Luckily, that seemed to disappear. Okay, Olivia's giving him a slap on the chest. She's beating the shit out of him, telling him to shut up. The pterodactyl lifted his head. How do you know that? Because her claws immediately grasped the sides of his head and then pulled him into a kiss. You already had a kissing scene. You can't do this one twice. Nas's eyes widening, wide as saucers as Olivia closed hers. The three of us just watching really awkwardly at the sudden PDA, like, holy shit, Olivia, fuck off. She then relinquished. Relinquished what? Gently pressing her scaly forward against... How the fuck do you do that with those massive noses? Both snouts pointed downward. That's so awkward. Like, you have to do it so much worse than with humans. I believe you. The baryonyx... Because I believe in you. The baryonyx then peered towards the rest of us, a smile on a snout. Nasser pausing before following her gaze. You know he wanted to. You know he fucking wanted to. This man knows 2 verbs... He knows 2 nouns and 1 verb, and he will use them. And so does everyone else. Quick, strike a Sentai pose. I don't think Sentai did a lot with believing in people like that. Just do it anyway. I'm more familiar with Wunsch Punch, you know. We gotta say the rhyme in reverse or something to help him. Anon, why the fuck are you quoting Wunsch Punch? Wunsch Punch. I like Wunsch Punch, okay? I thought the crow was cute. He gets pat-pats from me. Yeah! I nod as I step forward, placing a reassuring claw on Nas's shoulder. Whatever happened, I will always be by your side. Anon ain't beating the allegations. Anon the alligator. Wait, I have to say this like Parappa to bookend this. Anon ain't beating the allegations. Anon the alligator. My Trish fic? I have a Trish fic? I forgot I had a Trish fic. I'm sorry. If you're talking about the cost of moving on, that was hot dog shit. You could tell that I was rusty, and I didn't understand a lot of big, important structural things to make something like that work. Like, I got slammed in the comments, rightfully so, because that was bullshit. I should have done better, and I could have done better. No, I should say that the other way around. I could have done better, and I should have done better. That better emphasizes the core point. You've been training for this. Just let it show. Yes, that's what he does. That's such a weird thing to say. I mean, I know what it is. Anon is secretly Greek. And he will now kiss Nasser on the cheek. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Wait, how many do they do in Greek? Because I know that it's a different amount of cheek kissing, depending on where in the world you are. You know, like where in the world is Carmen Sandiego? In France, it can be 1 to 4 kisses, depending on where you are. I don't know if they do it in Greek, though. Generally speaking, women will kiss both men and women. Oh. Yeah, I know 3. Yeah, I know that one. What about Greece? Is a country where cheek kissing depends highly on the region and the type of event. What? Most parts of Crete, it is common between a man and woman who are friends. Very uncommon between men, unless they are close relatives. In Athens, it is common. So in Greece, we do not have any guarantees, but Anon will be smooching that man. Just fucking kiss already. Again, I would love a story where Anon is... where the love triangle, Anon is like, I'm gay. Whoops. How'd that happen? That's my attack. You're gay now. You may now kiss your boyfriend. And then I start grinding them together. Anon does the Kratos ghost belief. You can do it, Nas. Wow, though. Letting your boyfriend down with your empty platitudes. It took me a nanosecond to realize that this suddenly felt like a very cheesy scene from one of Stella's records. It's been 14 years, Anon! You haven't seen Stella in over a decade! You probably haven't even watched anime all that much of recent. Have you? You haven't mentioned it that much. But I couldn't have given less of a shit about that. A giant grin on my snout as I relinquish my claw. Olivia doing the same before stepping back. So Nasser, she then gave the brightest beam I think I've ever seen. She's a gun now? Don't feel alone, okay? Nasser seemed to pause for a moment before gently grasping Olivia's claws. Again, this guy does not understand that claws are not fingers. Holding them up together, the baryonyx blinking before he stooped forward and gently kissed her. He stooped forward? Motherfucker is stooping? Listen, buddy. I don't know. I consider stooping to be a nasty word. But apparently it does mean to bend one's head forward. Safi became a self-aware gay bomb. Cause of the attack that... VHS OVA animes. Yeah, fair enough. No. Anon grew up after the 20s, after the 2020s. So he grows up in the 2010s. So Anon has access to Crunchyroll and the like. He's just watching pirated shit. I will now strike you with my most powerful move, Self-Aware Wolf, Gay Formation. Self-Aware Wolf, you can't bite someone like that. And he goes, oh, well, but I can't, Mr. President. I've been assaulted by a gay attack. So what's man ballet? Not ballet. That's the manliest of God. Considering what ballet does to your feet, I'm not arguing. Nasa seemed to pause for a moment, because of course he does. And somehow that had earned a sudden slam from Olivia's tail against the grass. Not the various kisses they'd engaged before. Her silver eyes wide as her freckled scales turned red. How the fuck do scales freckle? Nasser, like the reason you have freckles is because you have individual skin cells. With scales, it could be a far more obvious pattern. Nasser relinquished. What is this with fucking relinquishing? Listen, I don't know. Listen, hold on. Relinquish means to give up, to voluntarily cease. The problem with relinquish, okay? The problem with relinquish is that it's not a very commonly used term. It is very out there. Here, however, is the real problem with relinquish. Here's the problem with relinquish, okay? It's not a very good card! Got him. Fucking got him. But I couldn't have given less of a shit about that. A giant grin on my snout as I relinquish. So the list right now is Snout, Claw, Paws. What's the other one? There was another one. I guess Smile. And we have Peer. But Relinquish is showing up a lot all of a sudden. Again, it is a very non-standard verb to use. Gets used 6 times. I guess at this one moment he was like, relinquish is my word. In this one moment he realized that he really liked the verb relinquish. I think it doesn't belong here if it's really used this little, but I'm keeping my eye out for you, relinquish. It's just a weird verb to use 4 times rapidly in a row. Get out of here, Bandicam. I didn't mean to click you. I meant to open OBS. Olivia did the same before stepping back. So, oh, you know what? Fuck it. I've got something that needs to be done. I've had enough. I've had enough! Background to that, maybe? There we go. I've had enough. I've had enough! I've had enough of this man knowing like 5 words. Like, here's some other words you can use for pause. Hesitated. Hesitated. That's a nice one. Took a moment. Had a breather. Delayed. I don't know. I guess it really depends on the context of what you're going to use, but paused the whole time. Anyway, I won't. Slowly, he looked at us. Slowly! You don't look slowly. That's the problem. You don't say someone looks slowly. They turn slowly. Or they slowly turn to look at us. What do we remember of Stella? Yeah! He didn't even talk with her all that much, did he? Fuck. I guess the writer wants to have his cake and eat it too and then make another cake out of it. Thank you guys for being here with me. The rest of us smiled before I remembered something. Wait, so what's the rest? Oh, 40 minutes. Someone called out from a loudspeaker. Your turn to get a charge in 10 minutes. Sap is on his Keemstar arc. He's had enough. What the fuck? Senator, what the hell? Dude. Dude. Shit. Listen, Dave, I don't know why you gave me all those links. That's a lot of fucking links, okay? I'm on my Keemstar arc. Don't even know what that means. I don't even know what that means. Nas's eyes widened. I gotta run! Quickly, he said. Meaning both figuratively. Shut the hell up! You are not subtle enough for this to matter. Rushing past us as he reached the gymnasium, flashing his one last smile. Because everyone smiles and pauses. Except he had to be quick this time, so he didn't have time to pause. Doe spoke up after a few seconds. Who fucking cares? We should Quickly! Quickly! Find a place close to the start so Nasser can see us cheer for him. 2 weeks worth of links. Thanks, Scary Dave. Blech! To that, we all agree on. Why didn't you say we all agreed to that? Or cheers to that, or something stupid like that. I don't fucking know. Anon's had years to refine his comedic genius. Doe and Warden moving together as Olivia and I walk side by side, making our way across the field. Don't go across the field, that's rude. Her gaze is forward, the trace of red still on her snout. Why isn't her peer forward? Where had I gone wrong in my past life? Olivia done... What the hell are you talking about? Olivia isn't dating Fang. Sure, they were still young, but Olivia had done something to be there and support Nas. What? You were all there! If everyone was fighting their own everyone is... That's not what he talked about! He meant that you should be considerate of people's feelings because they might be dealing with stuff you aren't aware of. It was... What are you... You've learned nothing, Anon. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, admittedly, you shouldn't learn anything because you come from the timeline where you learn jack shit. And your best thought was, it's better if people die when they are killed. The Baryonyx had literally picked up a sharpened drawing pencil and rushed to the side of Nasa. What? Okay, fair enough. I couldn't have been more proud of it. You haven't done anything, Anna. What are you proud of? That you've stood around and narrated her events? Like, I feel that if you want to make this point, have Anon be a mentor. Or something. I don't know. It really doesn't feel like Anon is that important. And if he is, then you should reiterate that here. Like, have Anon be like, oh, come on, Olivia, I told you to be forward and give him a big kiss. You know, Anon seems like the kind of person who would think to himself, you know, it's nice to see that all my hard work has paid off. Instead of him just being like, man, I'm sure glad I got to be there for someone else's story arc and be a secondary character. Also, why do you meet a place close to the start? Like, if he goes around the track, he'll see you at some point eventually. I guess the only benefit is that you can cheer at him right from the get-go. Also, if Ripley is there, he will throw you out of those seats. You know what he's like. Olivia, I speak up. My foster sister looked to me. You're awesome. I don't... There's a lot of disjointed, like, multiple angles at the same thing here. I don't know what he's trying to do. In all honesty, there was a lot more I wanted to say, but couldn't yet formulate. But I had a feeling that I didn't need to. Olivia smiled, looking genuinely touched by my compliment. She's like 14, man. She doesn't have the emotional nuance. Thanks. We make our way to the sides of the track to form the stands, waiting for the runners to come out amongst the watching crowds. Anungus? After a few minutes, they arrived, jogging to the start line as respectable cheers and claps broke out. I love the idea that everyone is just golf clapping. Just respectfully clapping. No, they're not respectful, they're respectable. The cheers themselves are respectable. All the sportsmen were like, man, these are such respectable cheers and claps. I feel very much like they're being what a respectable audience. It's a fucking sporting event. Half of them are drunk. And when NASA's... they're drunk because in the Snoot verse, there's a bit of cynicism to the world. Like, this wouldn't be that clean. Even if it's middle school or something. And when Nasha showed up, everyone in our group called out to him. Nasser! Woo! Nasser! Nasser! You got this! The pterodactyl gave us all a thumbs up as he ran past, taking position among the other 7th grade track and field contestants. Wasn't Anna in 9th grade? So he's like 12. Gross. Whatever. I don't fucking care. 5 other dinosaurs. Most of them admittedly tall, what the fuck? So I have a question, right? If dinosaurs have such a genetic advantage, especially considering that Nasser has, like, fucked up wings that are holding him back, like, do people get upset about genders? Like, are there still women's and men's sports? Or is it just like dinosaur and non-dinosaur sports? Because this sounds like a fucking problem. It's never really addressed in the game for obvious reasons, especially with the irony of Nasser being a winged creature that's known for his running. You know, his wings are fucked up, so he found himself. You get the point. Again, they made a fucking point out of it. There's always one soccer mom drunk causing a wow right for him to take her down. Listen, you do not know how good the drops are on this wow mom, on this drunk mom. They got into the proper stance, looking forward as the official held a revolver filled with blanks. How do you know that, Anon? Maybe it's an Alec Baldwin situation, and 5 seconds from now, someone's fucking dead. Student athletes of the track run, are you ready to rumble? The rules are simple. 5 men enter, 1 man leaves. They nodded, the official holding the revolver up to the sky. On your marks. I could see Nasser's smile surely shift into his game face. Eyes narrowed and completely focused. Wouldn't this be part of his training? To some extent? Get set. His entire body tensed up like a straining spring. You know, if you want to establish tension in a scene like this, you want to establish his competition so that we're like, oh no, Nasser's up against the odds. But this is really all we get. You know, the whole, they're Galileosauruses. Only one gets the suitcase full of cash. No, that's Hellenist, whatever. I don't know any of those WWW things. It was almost startling how fast he had sprung falls. The other athletes clearly caught off guard by the zoomy pterodactyl, leaving them in the dust as we lost our collective shit, cheering wildly for him as he grew out of earshot. Why are we doing this? He's like 11. My head followed him, watching him absolutely decimate the race. He killed one of the contestants? Alongside Olivia before the grunts rode from it. Decimation is a horrifying thing that Romans did. They were like, hey, you fucked up. You're gonna draw straws, and 1/10 of you are getting fucking killed. And now I can no longer think of decimation as just like, you know, beating someone up really good. I have a problem with this, though. I legitimately feel that having Nasser pulled... It's so sugary sweet in, like, the weird way. The whole story is about how Anon is a guy from a timeline where his girlfriend... The story is about Anon, who comes from a timeline where his girlfriend, because of his ineptitude, shot up a whole school and killed, like, 5 people. And he's super depressed about that as he moved over here and wants to do better for himself. And we have this sugary sweet moment where Anon's just fucking winning. Apparently, I don't know. Like... You're supposed to have people start off slow in this. Good job, by the way, Anon, in being relevant to the scene. Oh no, it's just started, honey. Damn, out of the way. What? Oh no, it just started, honey. I know that. Just damn it, out of the way. I completely froze up, slowly looking away from Nasser and into the crowd. A few dinosaurs moving aside as an impossibly large pterodactyl. A scar of his right eye and a huge portion of his crest missing. All the while... This is an incomplete sentence. A few dinosaurs are moving aside as an impossibly large pterodactyl does nothing. He never completes the sentence. What the hell? All the while, a petite blonde pterodactyl with eyes that seemed in constant that seemed to be closed constantly, you mean, joined him, her head frantically looking around as the 2 adults stood right beside Olivia and I. To think, the last time I saw the 2 of them was at the funeral, mourning the death of their children. I mean, you are 30 years old, you could probably call them children by this point. Yet here they were. Nasser and Fang's parents, Ripley and Samantha. I feel like you would have called out that they were familiar voices, but you can do that how you want. I peer away. Good use of peer. There we go. Closing my eyes for a moment, my heavy sigh drowned out by the roar of the crowds. I didn't know if I was ready to meet them, if I ever could be ready for that, but I opened my eyes again. There was nothing to do with waiting until the race was over. Ripley scanning the racetrack before catching wind of Nasser. There's like 6 people on the track, man. And the other ones don't even have wings. What the fuck? How's this that hard? There he is. He laughed out with pride. He's in first place. Is he? Samantha exclaimed, gasping out. "Oh, our little boy's incredible. Unlike the little sister who's just a fucking loser. I hope we beat her up again when we go back home tonight and give her a gun." It is then that I realized that while I may have become the best person in the world, humble brag, her parents had become worse to compensate, planning to reenact the school shooting they didn't even know was going to happen in 4 years. Anna, what the fuck are you talking about? What? I peer to see Olivia looking at it. I love how he's aware enough that he doesn't put peer twice that close together. Because the better way is to say, I look to see Olivia peering. That makes so much more sense. But he's so fucking bad at this that he can't spot that opportunity to actually use it well and seem a little more competent. Just the little things, you know? Because saying you look to see someone do something is very normal. And Olivia peering at them makes sense because she would be scrutinizing the parents of her boyfriend. Especially since they were late. She has opinions. Olivia should think something about this. Maybe be upset. I don't know. I'm just saying. Perhaps already having connected the dots. The dots are not that hard to connect. They pretty much said it explicitly. Before slowly looking back to the track, eyes widening upon seeing Nasser already approaching the finish line with another athlete, a fast Galileosaurus that had picked up the pace. The two of them were toe to toe. Nasser's teeth gritted before his gold eyes found us and his parents. I still want to know, like, how do people learn dinosaur names? Like, if you grow up in a human-centric society, do they just give you a little, like, book for babies that's like, here's all the dinosaur species and how to identify them? Because some of the differences are fairly subtle. I don't think you could just pick up on this shit unless you were exposed to it, you know? Love is a hell of a steroid. It's not what steroids do. Plot twist, Ridley remembered he isekai'd himself to chase down Anon and do that. I'd like that. I think that playing with the formula in that way is hilarious. Because I like that kind of meta humor. Because it makes me chuckle and chortle and go, hoo hoo hoo, that's so funny. You know, I would love it if he just beat the shit out of Anon. Actually happened in this plot. With a powerful flap of his good wing, that's not how that works. It gave him a sudden boost needed to break the running stalemate between him and the other athletes across the finish line. What kind of sprint is this? Is he running a marathon? Like, is this an endurance race or is this just like a power race? Because if it's a power race, why didn't you start with that? Like, I'm just saying that there are a lot of things here that could have been done better to make the scene work better as a concept. Again, you want to know what you do with this? You want to know what worked really well here? You have Nasser be the central character. We learn about all of his internal conflicts. He sees his friends, and he's like, you know, my parents aren't here, but there he goes. He flaps his wings. Which, again, wouldn't work. He has one good wing, so he would just blow himself over. But he comes around, he's like, my parents, and then there's that moment, you know? That last little boost he needed. I don't know. I feel like this scene could work so much better. If it wasn't fucking Anon, there was nothing to say. Except for, remember, Anon has a plot point. I'm like, where is it? Stop reminding me of a plot that isn't even happening. We went absolutely nuts, cheering as he turned, running towards the side as Ridley and Samantha stepped forward with proud smiles on their snouts. Damn. Only for him to go to Olivia first, the baryonyx already spreading her arms as the two embraced. Ridley and Samantha seemed stunned for a moment as the rest of us joined in, patting our shoulder and back, laughing out.
Dude, that was amazing.
I could barely follow you. You were so fast.
I simply smile. 10 times, not that much. It's just that there's a weird density at the top. And on his shoulder as Nasser... Oh, wait, no. No. Okay, still just 12. I simply smile. Hand on his shoulder. Everyone puts hands on this man's shoulder. As Nasser briefly peers at me, Olivia nuzzling her snout underneath his. And that look he had given me, not one of disappointment, not one of sorrow. I just feel like this doesn't work if you already do all of this. But I am noticing that some of the sentences are getting longer. We're getting some proper density here. It's not. He's not sad. He's happy, as if to say thank you. For what? What did you do? It took all my effort not to. What are you talking about, Anon? Shouldn't you be upset that your fucking dead boyfriend is here? A cough from Ripley manages to guide. Get your attention. It's like he's allergic to using the right word. Nasser and Olivia disconnecting? This reads like someone who has this is the obvious word to use, but it's too simply of an English word for me. You know? A man who read a thesaurus and got the wrong impression. As the former approached his parents, smiling. Again, use of the former feels a bit so Mom, Dad! He hugged Samantha as Ripley ruffled his short hair with a smile. Oh shit, I forgot. He probably has hair at this point in history.
Oh, we're so proud of you, dear.
Samantha cooed. Hell yeah, I love cooing. It's a great word to describe someone talking.
Sorry for arriving late. You must have been so sad.
Traffic was terrible. We know you were trying to call us, but He then lifted up a crushed flip phone. Should have bought Nokia, man. Nokia. Indicating that his anger might have gotten the better of him. Cell reception wasn't good. How not have a reinforced phone for his fat ass and his big manly hands? Like he's chief of police, he can afford a stainless steel model. Made by Nokia. Lasts 100 years. It's alright, you're here now. That's all that matters. He looked between them. Is Lucy? Oh yeah! I guess Lucy wasn't with them. I don't know whether to be grateful or sad about that. Now, I could complain about the writer taking away a very useful plot moment, but on the other hand, this scene is already getting a bit dense with, it's about Nasser, and it's about Olivia, and it's about Ripley being introduced. Having Lucy on top of that, especially since Lucy is a cruxical central plot point, it's fine. It's actually really good not to have her here right now. I'm just saying. Sometimes you don't want everything to happen all at once. Give a scene some room to breathe. Right now, a lot of plot points are technically happening. Sure, they're not happening in a very good way, and they're not being handled in a good way, but breathing room is breathing room. Samantha and Ripley peer. Wouldn't they glance or stare or something? Not peer? They're not scrutinizing each other. For the former. This guy sure loves, describing as the former. Instead of giving a cool descriptor, like the big man side. He just did it 4 times, Safi. It's not even that much. It just stands out. It just stands out. I'm just getting mean. Your sister's at home. She would love to be here. But you know how car sick she gets. She gets car sick? She survived a taxi ride with Devil Groom Man. I think she can handle car rides. NASA paused before nodding. Because that's how we work in this world. Yeah, it's fine. He nodded, unburdened with his answer as Samantha. When the fuck does this section end? There we go. We'll do another stream tomorrow just to wrap up. Actually, let's just end it here.